My mind is blown right now. I just went through the process of setting up the exact same AI project or GPT or Gem in Claude, in ChatGPT, and in Gemini. And I put in the exact same prompts, resources, and asked to do the same thing. And the results were vastly different. I then asked each of them to grade each other's work, and I put it through both Grok and Manus. And the results floor me. I can't wait to share what I saw when comparing Claude Projects, ChatGPT's GPT service, and Gemini's Gems for writing YouTube scripts. So, hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Today, I'm kind of scratching my own itch. I'm eating my own dog food because I want to start scripting more of these videos because I think it's really helpful in me delivering exactly what I want to say. And I want to use AI to do it because it's amazing. And that's the whole point of all of this. And so what I did today is I went into Claude, I went into Gemini, and I went into ChatGPT. And I created their version of, I'll call it a project, just because I think it's a really good blanket term for this thing that we're talking about. And when I talk about a project, it is a way to have a lot of context and information and specialized instructions for a thing you want to do over and over. And so I think Claude Projects sums this up the best. If I just open up my Claude project for my YouTube script generator, it has details like a name, but it also has instructions over here. So purpose, you are a professional YouTube script writer, tone and persona, hook script. So this is a GPT to write YouTube scripts. So how the video should go, primary call to action is to join my AI Accelerator email course. Link is in the description below. Closing, examples, duration, right? So this is all the stuff that you would write out in a prompt every time. You just put it in here once and you're done. You additionally, in all of these, right? In ChatGPT and Claude and in Gemini, you then seed it with examples. So I have example scripts from Alex Hormozy, TK Cater, Callaway. I also have like a educational product that I bought on how to write really great YouTube scripts, and I uploaded that. And I have a YouTube hooks guide that's a markdown file. So I have all of this stuff. And in all of them, I think I'm just scratching the surface. You can see here in Claude, I'm only 7% of the capacity of this. I'm not going to go into exactly how to build Claude Projects versus Gemini Gems versus ChatGPT GPTs. I'll create separate videos about each of those. But what I did is I asked it to write a script. And it says, you are a YouTube script, write a YouTube script about creating your first Gemini Gem. Compare it to Claude Projects and ChatGPT's GPTs. Consider use cases for each, which are their relative strengths, and go through the step-by-step process of creating a gem for writing YouTube scripts, just like you do. Right? So like super meta. Give prompts, gem level instructions, and reference files. Okay, and so it went away and thought, and this is what I came up with. I did the exact same thing in Gemini. I created a gem. And so in Gemini, you can come over here and gems are in the left-hand side. It has some built out already, and then you can create your own. So you just say, create a new gem, and you give it this stuff, and you add context. Of course, Gemini really well integrated with Google Docs and Google kind of everything. And so in my gem, this is what it came up with. So it thought for, I don't know how long, but it thought for a while. And, you know, what's interesting is like, I'll just read the hook because I think the hook is like really, really important in YouTube. So what if I told you that you could build a custom AI expert for your business in the next 15 minutes for free? I'm not talking about another chatbot. I'm talking about a specialized AI employee. Most people are still scratching the surface. Stick with me in this video. I'm going to show you how to build your first Gemini gem, compare it to GPT. So like to me, pretty good. Over here in Claude, it says, while everyone's fighting over ChatGPT versus Claude, Google just released something that's about to make your content creation 10 times faster, and 90% of creators have no idea it exists. I'm talking about Gemini Gems. But first, here's a hidden gem. So like, I don't know. They're both fine. Like, I don't know that one is like amazingly better. And then to contrast that, this is my ChatGPT GPT. So GPTs are kind of pre-made things that you do over and over. And I think it's where GPTs and gems are really similar, and a project can be a little different because the prompt is different every time. but I had the exact same prompt in here. And this is the hook that it came up with is, if you can spare 10 minutes today, you can spin up a custom GPT that writes your YouTube scripts in your voice, no agency, no prompt spaghetti. I'll show you exactly how to build Gemini Gem for scripting and stack it up against Claude Projects and GPTs so you know which to use when. And yes, I'm giving you my paste in instruction block starter prompts, blah, blah, blah. In the next 10 minutes, I'll hand you the exact gem setup that writes your next YouTube script. This sucks to me. Like, sorry, this is bad. Like, this is bad. This is not like good at all. Okay, so I did all of that. I exported these and put them into Google Doc, downloaded them as a PDF. So I had these to import into 5 different places to grade this work. First was Manus. So I was like, Manus is my go-to. Like when I need to do something really kind of deep, Manus is the place I go. So I gave it this prompt. You're a professional YouTube script writer and copy editor. You know what great script is. We're going to compare these 3 scripts that different LLMs created. And I named them, right? I named them as such. It does this and it says Gemini's the winner. Okay, so one score for Gemini, right? Why is it the best? I think it really flows very well. Like when I look at the Gemini one, it flows really well. The Claude hook, I agree, is the best. That's maybe not surprising. And ChatGPT, to me, is more like an instruction book. So it said Gemini is the best, then the Claude hook, and then ChatGPT as the conversationalist. Looks most like natural word spoken, which is a great piece for YouTube. I just don't know that I agree. I just don't know that I agree. Like when I look at the YouTube one, first of all, it's not a script, right? It's an outline. And so it didn't do what I asked. This is the script, which is not a script, it's a bullet list, whereas the one from Gemini is a script and the one from ChatGPT is a script, right? It's word for word what I should say, hook up my teleprompter and fire it up and go. Okay, so I did the exact same thing, again, super meta, in ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, and I'll pull in Grok in a minute. Did the same thing, right? Same prompt, evaluation prompt, uploaded the same 3 files. It evaluated each and then gave me the best, which it said it was the best. So it's patting itself on the back because it has these like frameworks and file references and stuff. You know, one thing I will agree with is Claude has the best use of open hooks, hidden features, and short form optimization. To me, Claude wrote the best. Okay, so I did the exact same thing in Gemini. Same prompt, same evaluation prompt, uploaded the same 3 files. It said that Claude was the winner. That's typically what you would say, right? If you're like, hey, I want to write a piece of content, everyone who kind of does a lot of this would say Claude for writing, Gemini probably for like analysis, and ChatGPT for like basic stuff. Is how I think about it. Or like brainstorming because it has context forever. It remembers everything I ever said to it, which is a problem I'm running into in Manus these days. Is I talk to Manus a ton and it forgets everything. So it's kind of limited. Like the limited memory is really a problem. You can commit, I think, in Manus up to 10 things to memory, so it always remembers, certain things. But the persistent, forever, unlimited memory in ChatGPT is enormous because it knows everything about me. It's basically the only reason I still use ChatGPT. Okay, so then I did the exact same evaluation in Claude. Analyze these 3 scripts. And winner was the Game Changer script, which is the 3rd one, which was the Claude script. So it said it was the best. And then I did the exact same thing in Grok, because actually I find Grok to be really helpful sometimes when I want really current information, because it's hooked up to Twitter, and when I want like a no BS analysis on something. Like Grok, I think takes the personality of its owner a bit and just super no BS about anything. So it analyzed these. I appreciated that it told me how long each one was and about how many minutes and words. And it said that ChatGPT was the best script because it's comprehensive, actionable, and viewer-focused, turning a tutorial into a high-value playbook. What do we take from all this? Like, first of all, I think I just want you to know, if you're going to do a thing over and over and over, and you need a bunch of context and examples and instructions and guide and process, don't start from scratch every time. I think my takeaway is it kind of doesn't matter. Use a Gemini Gem, use a ChatGPT, GPT, or use a Claude project. Typically, we talk through kind of which is best for which scenario. Typically, Claude is better for writing. Claude is definitely better for coding. It's the tool that almost everyone I know uses for coding, Sonnet 4 or Opal 4 as of the writing of this video. And ChatGPT for like unlimited context. To me, ChatGPT just didn't do its job. It didn't write a script, it wrote an outline. And so, because it did kind of throw up on this the first time. It just tried and it just didn't work. It like timed out. So what do I take away from this? As of today, where's the value in each of these tools? For me, ChatGPT, I literally probably could never cancel ChatGPT because it has so much context about me. That's really valuable. Claude, I think writes really good, but that's all I would use it for is writing. Conversely, I think Gemini is free and included in every Google Workspace plan. So if you're like, hey, I want to save $20 over the cost of Claude, could I get Gemini to write better hooks and better scripts? Because everything else about this works really well, right? It follows the process. It has a pretty, to me, this is a good hook. I could probably refine my hook document if you go back up to like the gem. If I go to edit the gem, one of the documents is this hook guide. Could I expound on this hook guide and just make it better? Probably. I could probably just make this hook guide better to where Gemini performs as good as I want it to, because the rest of the prose in here is really, really good. A bit of a downer to me that we did this, we asked each of these tools and two more, Manus and Grok, to evaluate the results. Everybody kind of gave us different answers almost, right? Several said ChatGPT, some said Claude, some said Gemini for different reasons. The big takeaway for me is I think almost any tool can do the job. I think the context and the information and the prompting that you give to any tool is by far more important than the tool you use. That's kind of the big takeaway. So if I'm like, cool, I'm just if you had to say tomorrow, I'm just going to cancel all but one of these, probably for me, I would keep ChatGPT just because it has unlimited context. That's hugely valuable to me. If I could have two, I would probably have Gemini because there's things like image editing that are ultra powerful, and just the integration with Google Workspace is really important to me because I use Google Workspace and Docs and Gmail for everything. Having AI across the board for everything I do is really powerful, and I believe will be more and more so into the future as Google continues to roll out more AI functionality kind of invisibly into their products. But I gotta say, I'm really surprised that several of these evaluations pointed to ChatGPT as the best script. I just don't know why. To me, it's by far the worst. And so I came in here thinking that it would say Claude first probably, and then Gemini, and then ChatGPT. And in some ways, it was the other way around. But that's why we do this. That's why we're doing 100 Days of AI. That's why we do this exercise. And I would punt it back to you to say, as you're going in to create, I'll say projects, it's gems or GPTs, things that you do over and over, and you have some kind of setup structure for an operation in AI, consider that the tool you use may not be as important as the context and the prompting and the information and the setup that you give it, because they all can give you very good responses and outputs. Okay, so that's a wrap for me. If you found this helpful and you want more like this in your inbox, I have a free 30-day AI Accelerator Bootcamp that takes you from kind of like, hey, I use ChatGPT every once in a while to write emails or whatever, to doing things like this, setting up advanced Claude projects and GPTs and gems, automations and workflows and things to really simplify your life and your business. There's a link in the description below. Drop your email in. I'll send you this 30-day course that really is transformational in your journey from kind of being AI curious to being an AI forward leader in your business. I'm Craig Hewitt. We'll see you tomorrow.